Hello, my name is Mark Stubbles. My website address is anxietyhypnotherapist.org, and today I'm back with another Q&A answering questions from my Facebook group, Inner Child Healing, Breaking Free from CPTSD. You can find links to my website and my Facebook group in the pinned comment below this video if you're watching it on YouTube. So getting started, I've got the questions on my phone, which I will be looking down at to read from so that I can remember them. So the first question, someone has asked, why the devil I fall asleep with the lights, computer and TV on, and I turn it all off, go to bed and can't sleep. So my answer to this question is that everyone is different, and I don't know you that well personally, but this is most likely because you feel comfortable with that noise in the background. That noise acts as a distraction from your thoughts and maybe negative thoughts that you have going on. Maybe you feel safe with all that noise going on in the background. That is the most likely explanation. It allows you to relax, and there's many people that can't sleep with the lights off because they don't feel safe in the silent darkness, and using hypnotherapy I've helped several people to overcome that fear. The next question, how to heal pathological loneliness that comes from acute childhood neglect. So my answer to this question, firstly, I looked up the definition of pathological. Pathological is a medical term, and the definition of which is involving or caused by a physical or mental disease. So I've said that the first step to overcoming any issue is separating it from yourself and seeing it as not who you are at your core. If you're seeing something as pathological, if you're saying I pathologically suffer with this thing, you're seeing it as a disease, it's going to make it very difficult for you to escape that problem, for you to overcome that problem. So my advice, the first step, would be to stop seeing that as a disease, stop medicalizing the issue. And I'll go on to say, when you say pathological loneliness, I assume you mean feeling lonely all the time, even when you're around other people. And this kind of problem is going to be caused by childhood neglect, especially if you felt that neglect from your mother, because the relationship with the mother is the most important relationship for any child. It underpins and forms the foundation of all future relationships, including the relationship with yourself. So if you didn't get a chance to connect properly with your mother, it's going to cause you issues, and it's going to cause you to feel lonely and separate from everyone else as an adult. So becoming a good enough parent to yourself, to give yourself the unconditional love, unconditional acceptance that you should have received from your mother. And a child needs to feel seen. If a child is growing up in an environment where they're not seen, then, in ancient times, in prehistoric times, they would have been as good as dead. So it's really important that a child feels seen. So you need to not only give yourself that unconditional love, unconditional acceptance, you also need to make yourself feel seen, feel safe, feel secure. The next step is going to be learning to interact with people in a healthy way. So as children, we're looking for our parents and caregivers to show us, how we should interact with the world, how we should interact with other people. If we're witnessing dysfunction, or if we are growing up in a dysfunctional environment, we're going to learn to interact with people in dysfunctional ways. We're going to feel comfortable interacting with people in dysfunctional ways. So we may develop a kind of bubble to sort of separate ourselves from our emotions, to try and protect our emotions, protect our core from the outside world. So again, feeling safe, feeling secure, feeling like you're good enough. All those things are going to be important, and they can be reached through inner child healing, and then learning to interact with people in a more healthy way. Learning to let people in is going to help you to overcome those feelings of loneliness. So that is my answer to that question. That's a great question, and I could dedicate a whole video to that question, and I will do that at a later date. The member of my group goes on to say that she's been feeling suicidal all her life, and she's no clue what kind of therapy is best for this condition. She says she tried DBT, that's dialectical behavioural therapy, CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, and both didn't work. Maybe it was the therapists I had, or I didn't go long enough. I tried to reframe like crazy, but it doesn't work anymore. I don't think this subject is talked about enough. She talks about severe waves of lonely anguish, of emotional flashbacks from the past that she projects onto the future, dread and fear of an endless wasteland which terrorizes her during these emotional dysregulation episodes, making her life a living hell. She says, what kinds of therapies are best to treat this condition? If you could go over which style of therapy does what, which is advisable. And then she talks about accelerated resolution, or EMDR therapy. What techniques can one employ, or is there really just nothing one can do? So my answer to this question is that everyone is different. And different people are going to respond differently to different therapies. Certainly, having rapport with the therapist is going to be extremely beneficial. You need to have a therapeutic alliance when you're working with someone. You need to be comfortable working with someone. And in these days of Zoom, makes it very easy for therapists to offer free consultations. And for all members of my Facebook group, I offer a free 1-hour call. In that time, you can, talk to me. You can see if you're comfortable working with me. We can talk about what you're looking to get from therapy and find ways that hypnotherapy can help you. So it could be that you didn't have rapport with the therapists. As I said, you want to maybe interview several therapists and find one that you feel comfortable working with. And then I go on to say, as I already said, if you strongly identify with the problem, it's going to make it very difficult to overcome the problem. Why is it that you are strongly identifying with the problem? And I say these problems that you're experiencing may stem from a fear of actually connecting with people. Maybe you've learned it's not safe to connect with people. Maybe you've learned that connecting with people ends in abandonment and rejection. So you are creating what is known as a secondary gain. So people often have problems, they have issues and things that they can't get over. And those issues and things are their unconscious or subconscious mind's way of protecting them from things that could be, even worse, things that may have been severe traumas for them. So again, if you felt neglected or rejected by your parents, your mind may be trying to stop you connecting with people as an adult, to try and avoid that trauma happening again. And this is leading to those feelings of pathological loneliness. So I would say consider what that if there is a secondary gain, and what that secondary gain could be. Again, hypnosis is very good at helping clients identify this and to find healthier ways of fulfilling that thing that their unconscious is doing for them. And then what therapy is best largely depends on the client. For me personally, it's hypnotherapy. That's why I became interested in hypnotherapy, because I used to have several problems myself, and I had a lot of anxiety. The way I overcame those things was through hypnosis, and that's what made me want to study hypnosis and become a hypnotherapist. Also inner child work, as I've talked about in the past, hypnosis helped me be more confident, helped with emotional dysregulation. But it wasn't until I started doing work to heal my inner child that I really saw the most progress. That's why I'm passionate about inner child healing, and that's why starting on the 9th of July, I have a new inner child program, which I'm very passionate about promoting and very passionate about helping people to heal their inner child. So check that out. And so hypnotherapy for me, I've used hypnotherapy to help many people, and studies show that using hypnosis, results can be achieved much more quickly than with standard talking therapies alone. So hypnosis is very, very effective. Being a hypnotherapist, I'm obviously going to say hypnosis is the best therapy, because I believe it is, and I've seen my clients make rapid results. I've seen myself make massive changes in my own life. So hypnotherapy is best. Another great question, which I will be doing a more in-depth video on. So yeah, great questions. If you have any questions you'd like to ask me, you can join my Facebook group, the link to which is below. You can also search for it on Facebook, Inner Child Healing, Breaking Free from CPTSD. You can also leave comments below and ask me any questions you want, and I will answer them in another Q&A video just like this one.